this has been a debate that's been going on for a long time all over the world, actually. So the question is, if you are getting money, should you build your primary home first or start a business? And I think there is no right or wrong answer to this question. It all comes down to your philosophy, your risk tolerance, and your way of thinking in general. There is no right or wrong answer. Buying a house could be dumb, or building a house could be dumb if you look at like the return on investment, because you're gonna have to do maintenance, you're gonna have to, you know, if you're in Africa, it has more advantages because you don't have to pay all this insane property taxes and all that. But in the West, something that you got to do. However, owning your home comes with something that's more of like intrinsic value, and the value is you have a peace of mind. So, for example, my house, I sunk a lot of money into the house. And I know for sure that it's not the smartest thing to do for investment purposes. It's not. I'm an investor. I trade in the stock market. I know that the return on capital, how much money I could have made with the money that I put into the house, it doesn't make sense from financial standpoint. But from philosophical standpoint and from the intrinsic value that you get, your peace of mind knowing that you own your house no matter what. Because you could go start a business with that money, it doesn't work out, and you lose all the money. But you do have to take risks though. It's the only way to go up. And I have taken massive risks in my life and I'm not afraid of it. But having something concrete, which is the house that I live in right now, has its own intrinsic value because it gives you your peace of mind. You could go out there and take all the risks after this. And if things go south, at least you know that you can still live comfortably because the house is paid off and you don't have to do much. All you need is money for your electricity, money for water, and it's not a lot of money at all. And you're good to go. And basic food, and you're good to go. So you don't really need a lot to live on once you have accomplished that. If you look at it from that angle, from that philosophical standpoint, owning your house is invaluable because you have that peace of mind knowing that you will always have a place to lie down, lay your head, right? So that's that. That's the way I look at it. That's my philosophy. However, from an investment standpoint, it's dumb. But from philosophical standpoint, from the intrinsic value that you get out of it, from your peace of mind, having a lot of money and doing all this business, it all comes down to peace of mind. Peace of mind, I value peace of mind more than money itself, right? And knowing that no matter what, for the rest of your life, you will never be homeless because you own your home outright. It brings you a lot of peace. You know what I mean? You could do whatever goes wrong and you'll be okay. So that in itself has a lot of value to me personally. That's how I look at it. Other people might look at it like, oh, this is dumb, but it all depends on your risk tolerance. Some people don't mind staying somewhere with somebody and all that. I like space, right? So it all comes down to you as a person. What is your risk tolerance? How passionate are you about with this business? So don't get me wrong, you don't have to go and sink all your money into the house and now you have nothing to show for, right? So for example, I built the house and did other stuff on the side, right? But the money that I put into the house was a lot of money that I could have used for something else. So let's say I wanted to be greedy and I said, oh, I'm building this house and the return on the house is, you know, the money is going to this and that, so I'm going to just invest in it. Because the returns I was getting during that time was insane. Little did I know that the market was going to turn south and I lost a lot of money in there. So if I didn't build this house, which a friend of mine actually went to, if I didn't build this house and I wanted to be greedy and get more money from the money that I have, I could have lost it. I wouldn't have this tangible proof to show. And the same thing when people say, oh, you could have started this business and all that. Not all businesses succeed, but we must do it. I'm an entrepreneur. I love businesses, but you have to be realistic. As you could tell from my channel, I just say it as it is. I keep it real with myself. I do not lie to myself, right? Any business that you start, no matter how sure you are, could go out of business, right? Look at Blockbuster when Netflix came through. And a lot of other companies, right? BlackBerry, you name them. It doesn't matter how big you are, whatever it is. So own your home. It's all up to you. You might be young, you don't really care about having a house, you're okay with one-bedroom apartment, then you can save a lot of money and you put it into something like dividend stock, you know, so there's another way. That's essentially, well, the company could go out of bankrupt and all that, so that's another risk that you're taking. But let's eliminate all of that. So it doesn't matter how you put it. There is risk everywhere. And you got to be comfortable with the risk that you're taking and what fits your life and what makes you sleep well at night. It all comes down to being able to sleep well at night. Trust me, if you own a business and you own your home and things get tough, you can think well knowing that you're not going to be homeless. Or you could put the money into something that gives you like fixed, 10%. Let's say you have like $300,000 somewhere that's giving you fixed 10% per year, that means you're making 30 grand a year. And you could use that to rent. If you want to look at it from that angle, then you don't necessarily have to own your home, because you can just pack up and leave. That's a huge advantage by not owning your home. But I don't look at it that way, because I could still pack up and leave, and I'll always look at the house as my primary residence, and no matter what, I will come back to. So if I were to move, like I want to move to some other place, I wouldn't go for like a massive house or whatever. I would go for an apartment, and then we'll always come back to this place in the end. And a lot of people do it. A lot of people live abroad. They're not even in Ghana. They own a house down here. That one is something that's questionable. But yes, unless you do, like, you have family members in there and all that, so you essentially built it for the family in a way. And then when you come, you spend time with them. Way back in the days, before all this, financial sophistication came to play, you own your home, you have your food. Life was very simple. And like I said, my philosophy is through that. I work through that lens way back. That's the building blocks of our society, right? You need your house and you need food and all that to survive, and everything else is extra. So to stand here now and call people stupid for sinking a lot of money into houses that they are living in now, it's kind of like asinine. You know what I mean? Because that has always been the case back in the days. Just recently that people are getting sophisticated with money and all that stuff, and they're coming up with all this stuff. Like I said, at the end of the day, it comes down to what makes you sleep well at night. That's what life is about. You have a peace of mind. What you're doing, can you sleep well at night? And that's all I gotta say. So if you have an idea that you want to build a house before you start a business or whatever, and the house comes first, and you want to start a business later, it's okay. If you want to start a business first, and then hopefully you thrive and you build your house later, that's okay too. That's okay too. There's no right or wrong answer. It all comes down to your risks, tolerance, and your appetite for it, and what you can live with. Like I said, a friend of mine didn't build his house right away. He wanted to wait on it, kept reinvesting the money, and unfortunately lost it all. So you just got to be okay with the risk. You know what I mean? You got to be okay with the risk. And that's all I have for you guys. If you've not subscribed to the channel already, kindly do so. Like this video as it helps with the algorithm. Comment, let me know what you think. And until next time, my friends, be legendary. Peace.